Hey, Cham here of InMotion.press, and today I'm gonna make my own review of this exciting product called Designo Pro. So Designo Pro is a web app that you can use to design bitmap and vector graphics that you can use for your business. And of course, aside from business, you can use this graphics for other purposes as well. And before I go ahead and demonstrate to you on how you can use this web app, let me first explain to you what does it mean by vector and bitmap, because you're probably wondering what that has to do with your design and all that. So let me first go ahead and show that to you. And for me to demonstrate that, let me use Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. And you already know me as the video guy, but aside from videos, I also have a solid background on graphic designs. And so let me explain what's the difference between a bitmap and a vector for you to appreciate well why this web app is really powerful. Alright, so as you can see, I'm now here inside Adobe Photoshop, and as you can see, I'm currently designing graphics that I will be using for my upcoming launch. But usually Photoshop is a software that you can use to design bitmap images, and when we say bitmap, these are usual photos that are composed of pixels. So for example, in this particular photo right here, if you are seeing it like this, everything is just fine. But when I go ahead and zoom this up to like that, as you can see, the photo starts to pixelate. And that's because this image is a bitmap image, meaning it is composed of tiny pixels that just cannot be seen by our naked eye. So that's what a bitmap is. So let's compare that to a vector, and for me to demonstrate how a vector looks like, I need to use Adobe Illustrator. And as you can see, here's a vector of a flower, and unlike bitmap, even if we will zoom this up to that point, as you can see, there's no loss in quality and you don't see anything that is pixelating because this is vector, and you can zoom this to infinity and the quality will still be good. And the good thing about Designo Pro is that it combines both, and it's a web app that's kinda a combination of Photoshop and Illustrator, which is really great. And of course, Photoshop and Illustrator are probably the most professional softwares in designing things like this. But the good thing about Designo Pro is that they kinda combined these two softwares into one, and it's even a web app. So that means that you don't have to install anything. That means wherever you are, even if you're not using your own laptop, you can go outside and as long as you have internet connection, you can just use this to design your graphics. And so right now, let me demonstrate to you on how you can use this app. And I can start by clicking here, and as you can see, there's that arrow that directs me to do so. And all I have to do is click here to select a category. So let's say, for example, in this demo, I want to create a Facebook cover. So let me just choose that here. And then once I do, as you can see, I have lots of professional looking templates to choose from. So in this demo, let me just choose this. And then here I can just modify this template. So for example, this company name, I want to change it with my own name. All I have to do is click here and then just highlight the text and then just type my own name, for example. Here we go. And of course, I can just do the same thing here. I can just change the phone number, email, and the address. And even these elements, if I want, I can also modify them. So for example, this particular element here, I can just choose it and move it wherever I want. I can also go here and change the color. So let's say, for example, I want to change that to something blue. I can just click here and choose a color from here. And as you can see, here are some color palettes that I can choose. So let's say, for example, I want to use this color instead. Let me just click that, click OK. And as you can see, I just changed that color. And if you notice, this is just like the one that Adobe Photoshop is using, and they kind of follow this from Photoshop as well. And the same is true with this other element. So for example, I want to change the color of this element as well. I can just click it. I can make it larger if I want by clicking and dragging the edges. Let's say, for example, I want to change that to blue as well. I can always do that here. Click OK. And let's say, for example, I want to add a stroke as well. All I have to do is switch here, click here again, and then just choose a color of the stroke from here. And let's say I want to add an orange stroke. Just click OK. And as you can see, there's that stroke there already. But if I want to make the stroke a lot bigger, I can just go here and click and drag. And as you can see, if I add more number here, the stroke will become really big. But of course that does not look very good, so I might just want to make it 2 or something, and we now have a stroke right there. But if I change my mind and I now want to remove that, then all I have to do is click here again and just click that X button over there, then click OK. And once I do, the stroke is now gone. And for some of these other elements, these are elements grouped into one, and if I right click, as you can see, I can just click ungroup so that I can just modify each of these elements. And as you can see, I can move each of these pencils and transfer them if I wanted to. And again, if I want to change the color, I can just do what I showed you earlier. And if I want to add some more elements here, let's say I want to add some shape, I can always click here, and as you can see, I have different elements to add, like objects, symbols, arrows, flowcharts, and so on and so forth. So for example, if I want to add this star element here, I can just click it and then just click and drag here. But as you can see, I'm not seeing anything because I did not set the color. So all I have to do is click this and then click it again to choose a color. And let's say I want to make it orange. So let me just place the cursor here, click OK. And as you can see, we now have a nice looking star. Again, if I want to add a stroke, I can just click here and add one, but for now I don't want to do that. And of course, I can just place this wherever I want. Also, if I want to add more text, as you can see, there's this text tool here that I can click, and then just click here and then just type anything. And again, I can just move that wherever I want. Aside from that, I forgot to mention earlier, but as you can see, if I hover my mouse at the corner of this element, I can also click and drag and rotate this particular shape. Aside from that, I can also insert an image if I want to. As you can see here, I can just click this, and let's say I want to insert this particular image, I can just click it, click open. But as you can see, this image is really big, and so I need to make it smaller. And for me to do that, I need to click this one, the zoom tool. And once I hover my mouse here in the canvas, as you can see, it's having that plus sign over there. That means that if I click, it will zoom this in. But I wanted to zoom this out, and so when I press the Alt key, as you can see, that's now shifted to minus. So when I click, it will zoom that out. And once I do, I can just switch here to the select tool and then click this image over here. And as you can see, I now have those handles that I can just click and drag to make this image smaller. And for me to preserve the aspect ratio, I have to see to it that I press Shift in my keyboard, and then once I click and drag, as you can see, I can now make this image a lot smaller. And let's say I want to place that here, maybe let's make it even smaller. There we go. And then switch to the zoom tool again, and then just click and zoom that in. Let me go back to the selection tool and then just click here. There we go. And of course, I can just continue here, but as you can see, you get the idea. And as you can see, it's really easy to modify these templates and create something for your own. But right now, let me as well show you how to start from scratch, in case you don't like to use a template at all and you just want to start things from scratch. And before I do, I just have to go here to project and save this project by clicking here, or as you can see, you can just press Ctrl S. And let's just name this project demo. Click OK. Aside from that, I can also export this as an image already, and I can do that by going here. As you can see, I can export this as PNG or SVG. For now, let me just export this as SVG, and as you can see, I can just add a file name over there. Let me again name this demo. Click OK, and there we go. And for me to start from scratch, let me just click here again and then just click new project, then click OK. And as you can see, by default, that's the width and height of my canvas. I can always change that if I wanted to, or I can just click here and choose this ready-made canvas size right here. But just for the sake of this demo, let me just leave that as it is. And I can start by adding a background, and I can do that by clicking this square tool here, and I can just draw a square. There we go. And I can change the color of my background by clicking here and going to solid color, and as you can see, I can just choose any background that I want. Let's say I want to choose this one, just click OK, and as you can see, this is now my background. And I can do anything. I can just add a text and I can say demo layout. I can increase the font size from here. There we go. And I can also choose a font. I can make it bold or italic, although for now I just want to leave it as it is. And again, I can change the color of my text right here, make it white, click OK. Again, I can go here and add any element that I want. Let's check out some natures. And for example, I just want to add a tree, click that, click and drop here. And I can move these elements and I can change the color if I want. Although for now, let me just leave it as white. I can go back here and probably let's get a monkey. And let's place the tree right here and then the monkey right here. And let's just imagine that this monkey is about to climb this tree. Oh, probably right here. There we go. And of course, I can just add a lot more other elements here by clicking here. And let's say I also want to add some other animals like dogs. And then just change the color again to white. Click OK. And I'll probably just add that here. So as you can see, you get the idea. That's how to, do things from scratch. And let me just start anew and show you some other things that you can do in using this app as well. Let me just click here and click new project and just click OK. And as you can see here, I can click this and I can go to Pixabay and find some free images that I may want to use for this layout. And if you don't know what Pixabay is, it's a website that you can go and find some professional photos that you can just download for free and use it for your project. So let's do that right now. Let me just click here, click add image. And as you can see, I can just choose any image from here. Let's say I want to find some backgrounds. Click search. And as you can see, here are some results from Pixabay. And as you can see, these are professional photos that I can just grab and use for my layout. And here's a great one. So let's say I want to use this. Let me just click it, and as you can see, it automatically imported it into my canvas. So I can just click the handles here to make it smaller. Make sure to press shift so that I won't destroy the aspect ratio. There we go. And then what I can do is go here again, and let's say I want to add a text. Click here, and let's say for example I want to add nature, and click the selection tool and position this wherever I want. And yep, there we go. And if I want, I can still go here and add some other elements like arrows, for example. I can choose this one, for example, and add it here. Let me change the color to black, for example, and there we go. And as you can see, there's a lot of things you can do inside this app. As I said, it's like a combination of Photoshop and Illustrator, but it's a web app, so you can just access it wherever you are. As long as you have a laptop and an internet connection, you can just use this app to make some layouts that you can use for your website or even for print. Let's say you have an offline business, you can use this to do some layout for your local business as well. And I just scratched the surface of the many things that you can do inside this app. As you can see here, if I click here and go to the training videos, there's a complete tutorial on how to use all the features of this app. And of course, once you get access to this program, you also have this complete tutorial to show you all the features of this app. But I just want to show you the basics, and as you can see from these things alone, you can already do a lot of professional looking layouts that you can use for your business. And so I highly recommend this app, especially if you don't have those professional tools like Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator, because this is already a combination of those two softwares combined as a web app. Aside from that, as I showed you, it's really a lot easier to use, unlike Adobe Photoshop that it took me some time before I really learned how to use it. But for this one, you have a complete tutorial with an easy to use platform, so you can already create professional looking layouts for your business. And so if you find this tool useful and you want to grab it as well, I highly recommend that you do so through the button that you can see below this video, and that will be my affiliate link. And if you do, I have amazing bonuses for you. And my first bonus is a collection of my transparent photos. And these are photos that I cleaned some time ago. They are great subjects with transparent backgrounds that you can also just import here and use it for your layouts. And my other bonus is a collection of web elements. And as you can see, there are already shapes here that you can already use, but you might want to add some, and so that's one of my bonuses for you. And it's a collection of things such as arrows, grimes, buttons, and different elements that you can as well use in your layout. So yep, that's all for my Designo Pro review, and I look forward to seeing you using this tool as well. So thanks a lot for watching. My name is Jam, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.